Well, what part of the cycle are we in? There is now the AI Artificial Superintelligence Alliance implosion. What in the AI is going on here? In today's video, we're going to be exploring the artificial superintelligence drama that's going on as Ocean Protocol, one of the three different protocols that was part of the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance that basically came together back in 2024, is now withdrawing from ASI. And then we are hearing that the rest of the ASI ecosystem is accusing Ocean Protocol of dumping their coins. We got a lot to get into, a lot to discuss. Make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. We upload every single day of this year to bring you the latest happening in the financial world right here on the channel. Also, do me a favor, give the video a free thumbs up because crypto is not free, but thumbs up are always free. And as you guys know, sometimes we do deep dives into individual assets or topics like we're doing today. And sometimes we talk about the macro financial environment. So join the channel by clicking subscribe and let's get right into this AI drama. So as you guys know, we've been covering Artificial Superintelligence Alliance since effectively Ocean Protocol, SingularityNet, and Fetch AI came together to create this ASI cryptos. I thought it was going to be one big project, but as you guys know, in bull markets, there's a lot of announcements and not everything actually comes to fruition. Well, we are now hearing in October of 2025 that Ocean Protocol has withdrawn from the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. And then we're going to get into the drama because it gets even more drama-ish. Anyway, Ocean can be depegged and relisted on exchanges. What? Effective immediately. Ocean Protocol, this has a date? Yeah, October 9th. Of 2025, effective immediately, Ocean Protocol Foundation has withdrawn its designated directors and resigned as a member of the Superintelligence Alliance, also known as the ASI Alliance. The ASI Alliance was founded on voluntary association and collaboration to promote decentralized AI through a token merger. Again, Fetch AI, Ocean, and SingularityNet were going to come together and just become ASI, which I believe was never actually occurred, although Fetch AI rebranded their coin to ASI. So there's been a lot of kind of question marks here. Ocean has worked closely with the other members of the Alliance to seek technology integration, join podcasts, and run community events such as the Superintelligence Summit and the ETH Global New York City Hackathon the past year. Moving forward, funding for future Ocean development efforts is fully secured. A portion of profits from spinouts of Ocean-derived technologies will be used to buy back and burn Ocean coins, offering a permanent and continual supply reduction of the Ocean supply. Since July of 2024, 81% of the Ocean token supply has been converted into Fetch crypto, which again, they rebranded Fetch to ASI. That was going to be the merger. Yet there are still 37,334 Ocean token holders representing 270 million Ocean coins that have not converted to Fetch AI on the existing Ocean token contract. As independent economic actors, former Ocean holders can fully decide to continue to hold Fetch AI crypto or not. At the time of the announcement in October, the token bridge, fully managed and controlled by Fetch AI, remains open for Ocean holders to convert Fetch at this rate. Any exchange that has delisted Ocean may assess whether they would like to relist the coin. Acquirers can currently exchange their Ocean on Coinbase, Kraken, Upbit, Binance US, and Uniswap and SushiSwap. So as you can see, quite the drama already, but it gets even more drama. Let's get into the other drama. So Bubble Mats posted this, asking, did Ocean Protocol dump $100 million plus in community tokens? Fetch AI is openly accusing them of misconduct. Let's get through the data. So they continue saying, Bubble Maps says in March of 2024, Ocean Protocol, Fetch AI, and SingularityNet joined forces under ASI Alliance. Once separate projects, they merged under a single token called Fetch AI, right? Ocean could have been converted to Fetch at a fixed rate. And this is the announcement from March of 2024. Despite the merger, Ocean Protocol kept a large amount of Ocean coins in their wallet, supposedly for community incentives and data farming. It says here 719 million Ocean protocols, about 51% of the supply, has been earmarked for community incentives. Bubble Maps continues, saying, however, on July 1 of 2025, an Ocean Protocol team wallet converted 661 million Ocean coins into 286 million Fetch coins, worth about $191 million, and then sent 90 million Fetch coins to an OTC provider, GSR Markets. And basically, when you see these OTC provider transactions, typically it means there's going to be selling going on, right? Bubble Maps continues, saying on August 31 of 2025, the team wallet split the remaining 196 million Fetch coins across 30 fresh addresses. By October 14th of 2025, nearly all of them had sent the funds to Binance or an OTC provider. Whoa. They continue, saying in total, an estimated 270 million Fetch tokens were sent to Binance or an OTC provider, 160 million to Binance and 109 million to GSR Markets, totaling about $120 million. That's a Dr. Evil GIF if I ever saw one. So anyway, this is kind of a map of kind of how the transactions were distributed. And again, I'm just coming up to speed on this, right? I didn't even know that this occurred, and this has been going on for apparently months now. Bubble Maps continues, saying on October 9th, Ocean Protocol withdrew from the ASI Alliance. And we just went over their withdrawal statement that was posted on October 9th there. It says no clear reason was given for the withdrawal and no mention of FET coins sent to centralized exchanges or OTC providers. You guys heard it at the beginning of the video. We didn't see any explanation of any of these coin movements. Continuing on, the Fetch AI team reacted on X, publicly accusing Ocean Protocol of selling off community tokens. This is the quoted tweet from Humayun, who it says is a pioneer in distributed economy, deep tech investor, and with Fetch AI. He wrote on X. This was on October 15th of 2025. While legals are happening and we take every action possible to fix this problem, I want to lay out the facts and events so community can see what is happening. If Ocean, as standalone project, did this, it would be classed as a rug pull, only in his opinion, he says. On May 25 of 2023, he says the Ocean Protocol Foundation minted and transferred 719 million Ocean tokens to this address. On July 1, 661 million Ocean tokens were exchanged for 286 million Fetch AI coins, all in 2025. On July 3rd and July 14th of 2025, a total of 76.5 million Fetch tokens were transferred to this address. Of that amount, 21.2 million Fetch coins were subsequently transferred to Binance and 55.3 million Fetch coins to this address, an address linked to the GSR markets like Bubble Maps highlighted earlier in the tweets. On July 3rd and 14th, a total of 13.5 million Fetch tokens were transferred to this address. Funding of this account came from Exa Group. The balance remaining in that address was 196 million Fetch coins. Subsequently, those moved in a batch transaction to 30 newly created Gnosis Safe accounts at the end of August of 2025. These have now mostly moved to Binance. I urge Binance, GSR, and Exa Group to investigate these transfers and do the right thing, according to the Fetch AI team. He said, I stand united with the community and working to get this resolved ASAP, open to any conversation with Ocean Protocol, private or public. So yeah, you can clearly see a lot of drama going on and definitely saying that it looks like a rug pull. Not what I'm saying, what he's saying. Bubble Maps continues, saying Ocean Protocol's CEO responded by calling Fetch AI's accusations unfounded and baseless rumors. He added that the team is preparing a formal reply to address these claims. This is what he responded. Bruce Pon, who's the founder of Ocean Protocol, said rather than spreading unfounded and baseless rumors that we have to already proven to be false with our evidence in the legal proceedings, let's publicize the official findings and decision by the adjudicator for the community to see for themselves. If Fetch and Singularity agree, Ocean is prepared to waive confidentiality on the adjudicator's recent findings and let the community inspect and decide. Speak with your counsel, he says, and let them know if you want true transparency for the entire 250,000 holders of Fetch AI and 37,000 holders of Ocean. Ben Gertzel, who's the founder of SingularityNet, the third entity as part of this ASI alliance, he said, your counsel will need to confirm waiving confidentiality. Whoa. Hey guys, this is, number one, this is a lot of drama, okay? A lot of drama. Number two, this is top indicators. Actually, it's bear market indicators. And we'll get into the price activity and the bull bear market situation in just a second here, but let's kind of continue with what Bubble Map says. Bubble Map says we can't confirm whether Fetch tokens were sold by Ocean Protocol, although such transfers are typically associated with liquidation. On-chain activity shows the following. A multi-sig wallet tied to Ocean Protocol converted 661 million Ocean to 286 million Fetch, and then sent 270 million Fetch coins to Binance and GSR. That's what Bubble Maps has confirmed. He said they reached out to Ocean team to hear their side of the story. No response so far. This is now live on Bubble Map's Intel desk for the community to investigate. And so, yeah, a lot of drama. Drama does not occur in bull markets. Let's be clear about that. Drama doesn't even occur at the end of bear markets. It happens at the rotation phase from the bull to the bear. And this is bad. This is really bad for all three of these protocols. Number one, my big question has been since basically June when they officially merged of 2024, a little bit over a year and a half ago. My question has been like, what does this look like? What is the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance? Have they actually merged? Because it didn't seem like they were, right? If you go to Fetch AI's website, they have their own AI model, but it's not really mentioning or having anything to do with Ocean Protocol or SingularityNet. Effectively, we haven't even heard from SingularityNet on anything recently. And so this creates a lot of drama. And here is my overall take on it. Generally speaking, and it sounds like this from the comments from these founders or teams between Ocean Protocol and Fetch AI, it sounds like they have been dealing with things in the back end, potentially legal conversations, or what I would say is there's probably a lot more than the community knows about. And it's just bad for all of the protocols, right? Because it's very hard, in my view, to recover the confidence and the trust of the community when any of this happens, regardless of who's at fault, right? Because the community bought into these coins, specifically ASI or any of these cryptos after the alliance created in the middle of 2024. People bought in for the belief that all of these teams would be working together. And the fact that there's not cohesion, right? That is not good, because that just takes away confidence, regardless if it's Fetch's fault or if it's Ocean's fault or Singularity's fault or a combination of all the three. It doesn't matter. The fact is they didn't execute on what they said they were going to execute on, regardless of whose fault it is. And this is a not great thing for the ecosystem. This happens in every cycle. Let's be clear about that. This kind of thing happens in every single cycle. And you can see the 1-year chart on Ocean Protocol is very similar to the 1-year chart on Fetch AI. And so, if we go back a little bit longer than a year, you can see that at the beginning of 2024, Fetch AI corrected and went parabolic effectively. This was the top of the market, right? A lot of people still don't believe that alt season already occurred. Alt season occurred from 2023 into 2024. That was it. And pretty much all altcoins outside of these, specifically, outside of all altcoins, this is kind of how the charts look, right? 2024, we went up. 2025, we went down. And so effectively, we potentially are already in that bear market. And, when these things occur in bear markets, instead of them, on the back end trying to figure it out or go their separate ways peacefully and in agreement, they're fighting with each other now. And I think it's really bad for all of these coins because they have to regain the trust of the holders, kind of allocate what their strategy is, what they're doing. And granted, they clearly have been working on things in the back end, but it seems like they were working independently when they should have been working together as an alliance. And we just haven't seen that. And so I don't know what the truth is. I don't know that it really matters. The truth is that they're breaking up, right? That Ocean Protocol has broken up with Fetch AI, and whether it's a rug pull from Ocean Protocol or it's a rug pull from Fetch AI or it's not a rug pull at all, I don't think it matters. The fact is that they were not able to follow through on what they stated that they were going to do. And if this was a company in the stock market, the stock would go to zero. The stock would go down significantly. And we've seen that happen with a lot of different stocks, right? That, say they're going to do X, Y, and Z, and then they don't do it, or they don't do it well, or it doesn't, the customer base doesn't like it or approve it. And we see massive drawdowns in the price and valuations of that. And so there's, to me, what I would say is this: there's clearly technology that these teams have built independently, together, a combination of the two, I don't know. But this kind of drama is really bad for all of them. And now that it's such a public argument between them, and that Ocean Protocol has officially withdrawn, I don't know. I mean, and let's be clear, like I think I still own Fetch AI. I may have dumped it at some point because it just hasn't been performing. I mean, again, look at these charts. And this is, again, I've been saying for months now at the end of 2025 that we are now in a rotation phase from a bull market to a bear market, that the 4-year cycle is over. And a lot of people are arguing about that. No, Cryptoviser, we have an extended cycle. It's a 5-year cycle, the business cycle, M2 money supply, all this nonsense. But these are indicators. And it's not just happening here in the AI crypto space. It's also happening with the Bitcoin treasury companies. Look at Nakamoto, look at Strive, look at Semler Scientific, look at some of these other companies that they've gone pump and then straight down after their pump. These are indicators of rotation phase out of the cycle, right? Why they couldn't deal with this and come to some agreement or let the community know months ago what was going on, because clearly this has been building up, right? What Bubble Maps has highlighted here with the movement of the money, movement of the coins, clearly shows that there was this has been leading up to this. And so why didn't they communicate to the holders back in June and July? And remember, when I on this channel go back to my videos from June and July of 2025, just type in Cryptoviser top of market or Cryptoviser top. In those videos that I started calling the top of the market was in the middle of the year, was in June and July. This is when the Ethereum strategy companies started popping up, the Bitcoin treasury companies started popping up, and they all pumped. And from where they were in that pump to where they are at the end of 2025, it was a pump and a dump. And so I was right. That was the top of the market. And based on the movement of this money in June and July, regardless of whether you call it a rug pull or don't call it a rug pull or whatever it was, it doesn't matter. They were moving the money, which tells me that there was something going on around that time, right? Disagreements, non-cohesion with the team, right? Something happened at that point. And that also is an indicator that, yeah, that was the top of the market. That was the top of peak everything in crypto. Maybe not from a price perspective, but, you can even see here in June and July on Fetch AI, it was kind of sideways trading. And since then, it's been straight down. And since the disagreement in October, you can see massive drawdowns. And this is right around the time we had the flash crash in October. So we have a flash crash in October. Ocean Protocol removes himself from Artificial Superintelligence Alliance literally to the day of the flash crash. Like, to me, as an investor and somebody who's been following these markets for a long time, it doesn't surprise me that the price has been acting this way, especially now. In terms of what's going on between these different entities, what's going on between these entities is, I mean, it's a surprise that it's happening between these specific ones. But the fact that we have disagreements and public disputes and accusations flying around about your rug pulling, no, your rug pulling, this is indicative of end of cycle. It really is. And maybe a lot of that has to do with just the fact that maybe there wasn't cohesion. Maybe they didn't, because shortly after they made the announcement in June or before June of 2024 of this whole merger, I was asked, I mean, you can go back to my videos from that time period. Just type in Cryptoviser ASI or Cryptoviser Artificial Superintelligence. And you'll see those videos where I was like, what is going on? Like, they said they were going to merge and they're technically not merged yet fully, or like maybe the coins aren't merged, but the projects are merged. But are the projects actually merged? Apparently, it never actually occurred. So it was just going to be an alliance, like a coordination between the teams. But again, that kind of uncertainty in such a certain announcement, like that's a big announcement to say three AI cryptos are going to merge into one. That's big. That's really big. And in that time, we didn't really see much occurring or many announcements or community engagement and things like that during that time period. And if you look at like a competitor blockchain like Internet Computer launched and tested and was revamping their network to become a decentralized compute network. We saw that occurring in the same time frame. And they were very communicative with the community. They were very open with what they were trying to create. They were very open with their communication on the network reorganization and things like that. And we didn't really get that from Fetch AI. And by the way, Fetch AI is using Internet Computer's technology. So that's another kind of layer here. So I don't know what's going on between these different projects. Clearly, they're not happy with each other, and that's unfortunate, right? It's mostly unfortunate for the holders of the coin and for the developers of these ecosystems, because they're just trying to build stuff, and the investors are trying to invest in things that they think are going to increase in value. And because of whatever the situation is, there's disagreements and animosity or whatever the situation, everybody is negatively affected from 3 different protocols. And that's unfortunate. So I don't know what's going on here fully. I'll try to keep you guys up to date, but I saw this this drama unfolding and I was like, what in the Fetch AI is going on here? And I still don't fully know. I just know that there's clearly it's not looking good for these cryptos. And I don't know how any of them can recover from a situation like this. And we've seen this occur with other projects in the past, right? And once you lose that trust, think about the Luna stablecoin. Once the Luna stablecoin collapsed, people were running for the door in Terra Luna. Now, personally, Fetch AI has been underperforming since basically I bought it, right? Or maybe I owned it before. I don't remember exactly when I purchased. But I mean, anything in the last year and a half, since 2023 effectively, we round tripped. So anybody who bought since basically 2024 is underwater. And will it recover? Maybe, maybe not. Ocean Protocol, same situation. If we pull this back to 2024, yeah, pretty much anybody who bought from 2024 on is underwater. And so maybe it's just a loss. I would imagine there's probably going to be continued sell pressure as we move forward. And so this could potentially bring the price even down even further. But for me, it is what it is. You're not going to win every trade in the market. Every company that you invest in or every crypto that you invest in is not going to work out. And you have to understand that this is where risk management comes into play. Understanding that there are risks, understanding that sometimes when things are like, for instance, just recently I offloaded some of my ICP coins, and the ICP community is obviously not happy with that. But at the end of the day, they can still buy. I'm not stopping them from buying. It's my portfolio, and they shouldn't really care what I'm doing in my portfolio, to be honest. But I had to offload some because, again, I believe that we're at the end of the cycle. I did not see the growth that I thought we would from ICP's AI capabilities. I'm not saying they don't have AI capabilities, they don't have a great network. They do. The technology is there, but it hasn't gained the adoption. They haven't moved fast enough. They released Caffeine AI 3 times. Everybody was focused on Caffeine AI in the middle of the year, also June and July of 2025. And then they said, well, that's only the alpha version. We're going to release the beta version next month. And then they released that. And that was basically top of the market for the macro. And then they released the third version, which was the public version, in October. And nobody paid attention because you can't release a project 3 times and expect the same excitement from the first. And so for me, that was an indicator. The cycle's over. They didn't get the adoption or the use cases they needed. And everybody is saying AI is in a bubble. Well, we're seeing that potentially with Caffeine AI. We're potentially seeing that with this whole ASI and Ocean Protocol situation. And in the AI space, what have they really created from a monetization standpoint, right? OpenAI, Google Gemini, Grok, and all of these other AI systems, they're not making any money. And that's a problem, right? Especially if they want to be a viable business. And so maybe AI is in a bubble, and maybe these are indicators that the bubble is bursting. That's just my opinions on it. Again, I don't really have an opinion on it, who's wrong here. I don't think it matters whether it's Fetch AI, Ocean Protocol, Singularity Net, combination of the three, or none of them. I don't think it matters. Public disputes like this drain people from even wanting to learn more about it, and that's unfortunate. Anyway, let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Don't forget to give the video a free thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button, that way you never miss a new video, and I'll see you on the next video right here on the channel, Crypto On.